Lindsay Alliban, and I am the Hazlet Economic Development Officer and a rural enthusiast. Hazlet is a village of about 100 people in southwest Saskatchewan. The highway ends here, and I like to say our community is about 300 people. Small, rural, farming and oil and gas community. We have been putting ourselves back on the map for the last few years, building economically and our community quality of life, and we have been successful in doing that. We are a thriving, innovative, cooperative community. So about 10 years ago, the village of Hazlet was in probably its lowest point of its history. The school population was down to about 35 kids, kindergarten to grade 12. Businesses were closing, families were moving, and youth weren't returning to come back here. And so a group of individuals took it upon themselves to come together, draw in leaders from different organizations and municipalities to start the change of creating a sustainable future for Hazlet. The Chinook International Program began in 2006. Was a brainchild idea of a teacher that was on mat leave who saw that there was a need to keep our school vibrant. She took it upon herself to kind of get the community together to create this program. And we started bringing students in from all sorts of different countries, from Europe, South America, Asia. These students come in, they live with host families here in Hazlet, and they get integrated into Canadian culture, and they learn English at school. Our school has hosted nearly 100 students from all over the world, and our local population of students has also grown as well. We also had a daycare start in our school, which surprisingly has been one of the best businesses in our community. Young professionals who are working maybe away can now drop their kids off right here at home and then go off to work, and that has been a huge asset for lots of young people who've decided to move back here. So our rink complex never had artificial ice except for in the curling side, and we saw that was a definite necessity with the warmer winters and higher power rates. So we set up a wind turbine to power our rink, and that covers off a good part of our rink power costs so that we can keep our rink fees low, and we can offer great skating and curling to our entire community and area. Another project we have been working hard on is the Hazlet Big House, which is a multi-use building. It's an old ranch-style house that we've refinished and renovated to be a beautiful guest house. We also have a section of the house which is a thrift store. And this thrift store, people donate their goods to us, and anything we sell stays with the house and pays for utilities and upgrades and maintenance. This is also host to the Economic Development Office, so it hosts my office as well as our summer student. We also hold meetings there, house concerts. People can book the building to have shopping nights. We have seen a lot of success with that building, bringing more visitors into town, having our first accommodation available for probably 40 years. There hasn't been any here, so that has been a huge success. We've had major accomplishments in our community, but there are always some tough setbacks that happen here, and we just take them in stride and try to keep going. And there's always still threats of school closures or businesses leaving town, and we just continually try to think of new ideas to how we can support local, how we can bring in sustainable businesses that can operate at their best capacity here in Hazlet. I would say a big fire starter for our town, for Hazlet, was the Economic Development Committee. This committee brought together leaders from many different organizations, from our town council, the rural municipality council, teachers, farmers, local business owners. They all got brought together to start the discussion of what does Hazlet need to succeed. And so all these leaders brought their own wisdom and their ideas together, and everyone has worked very cooperatively to make sure we all work together to keep our ideas flowing. we've always said we're like an integrated family, that, you know, you sit at the cafe and everybody's reaching over and grabbing food from each other's plates, and that's just what we are. We're a big family. And I think because the level of respect that's built within our family, of our community family, the communication has always been very important. We've tried really hard to keep the communication between our seniors, our younger group, our baby boomers, all in sync. And really it comes down to just having a conversation with different groups of people, you know, finding the leader within the older generation, and that person can often spread that word for you instead of you having to talk to every single person in that demographic. We all try to keep a conversation going. Our RM and our village work very well together. You know, the Lions, the service groups that are around, they keep a continual conversation going to make sure we're not overlapping on initiatives, and making sure if that one organization needs assistance, the other one will step up and try and help them out. So definitely communication is a great thing that has encouraged all of our community members and kept our leaders in a positive situation. I think the best leaders in our community have a true passion for the town of Hazlet and the surrounding area. Specifically, I see people who have roots here, who love it and want to continue the great parts about our community. But you also see the new people who haven't lived there, they're here their entire lives, who catch on to the energy and they take it and run with it and continue on. And I can see leaders all over the world from our little town because we've fostered that growth of leadership here, and the students that are studying here for a year go back home and take what they have learned here in Hazlet and become leadership roles in their home country and ambassadors for this town, the province, and our country. And it's great to see what such a small place can do. We have changed the mindset of rural is bad. There used to be a stigma that rural people weren't successful or they were just farmers. But now with what we've done here, we've created a great quality of life for young families, for retirees, and we've created an atmosphere that's welcoming to anyone who wants to live the lifestyle that we have for so many years have grown to enjoy. And I think these accomplishments have put us on the map, so more people who used to live here are reconsidering their choices of why they don't live here. And other people who have never lived here see this as an opportune place to set down their roots and start a business, live affordably, and raise a family. And we know now that we don't need to reach the 90% of people who don't believe in rural life, but we need to find those 10% that do believe in the peaceful, welcoming, calm lifestyle that is offered from any rural community in Saskatchewan or in Canada. The goal of the Hazlet Economic Development Committee has always been to create a sustainable future for Hazlet. I'm not exactly sure what that perfect picture is, but I definitely want to continue the energy here. I want to keep us in the headlines and in social media so people know that we're here, and not to forget about the little guys, because we're a small town with really big dreams, and we're not afraid to keep fighting to keep our little town alive. I would say in a perfect world, I would like 5 more businesses here and maybe 30 more houses, and I would be perfectly happy with our success.